Jennings or Deebo Samuel, Steve? Who would you rather have rest of the season, Jauan Jennings or Deebo Samuel from the 49ers?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Jennings. Deebo, he's just not really looking like the same Deebo right now. And Jennings, man, like he just looks like an old school football player out there. He's a big guy, 6'3", 212. He's just boxing guys out, just manning people up, just catching the ball, just like old school style. Like just go out there and play, backyard football and just throw it to this guy. And last 2 games, 11 targets in each, 22 targets total, 7 for 93 in week 10 against Tampa. And then last week, 10 again for 91 yards and a touchdown. And early in the year, again, we saw him with a 175-yard game. We saw him for another 3 catch for 88-yard game. So no Ayuk, he's taking that role now, that X receiver role. And yeah, I just think Jennings is kind of going to be that guy. He's just him and Ayuk him and Purdy have a great freaking little chemistry going on. And I think Deebo's going to probably have some big games, of course, down the stretch. But I think I'm going to go with Jennings overall. I just think he's going to be the more consistent option that you can rely on every week.
Yeah, I was always on the fence with Jennings because he's been around for a while. The usage was never there. Going back to 2023, 1 game with 9 targets. 2022, nothing over 7. So it's like he was always kind of just like the 3 to 4 good blocking guy. We saw him flash a little bit in the playoffs. And this year, when given the opportunity, the 3 games in which he saw double-digit targets, he goes for 46, 16, and 25. You mentioned the rapport with Brock Purdy. I do think Jauan Jennings is emerging as the top pass-catching threat at wide receiver on this team. Deebo he is only 28, but he has a lot of wear and tear. He's a little bit, maybe he's a little bit more of a banged-up 28-year-old. And I don't particularly think CMC is at his healthiest right now. I think if the 49ers were a 2-loss team, CMC might not be back until the playoffs. So like if Jauan Jennings is going to be the focal point of this offense, it certainly looks like he can be, then yeah, I'll take him over Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel has not scored a touchdown since week 6. He has not had more than 12.6 PPR points since week 6. And Seattle's normally that game where Deebo crushes them. He was barely used.
Yeah. And McCaffrey's back now, so he's running less as well.
I mean, the targets, he only had 2 games over 7 targets this year. His target share, 5, 3, 5, 7, 6, 7. Like, he's not getting volume. And when he is getting rushing opportunities, he is not as elusive with them. And I love Deebo Samuel, but something just looks off with him, and something looks off with this 49ers team overall. But Jauan Jennings looks on with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Purdy certainly trusts Jennings, and Jennings keeps just getting it done. This guy is just very, very reliable. And it kind of started, last year in the playoffs. And it's continuing on to this year now that the opportunity presented itself. He took full advantage of it. So, yeah, Deebo just 2 touchdowns all year. Inconsistent. McCaffrey's back. Just 1 carry last week for -1 yards. You're probably going to see less carries now that McCaffrey's back. So, yeah, let's go with Jennings. As crazy as it sounds.
Yeah. And man, we have to follow what we know and what we can see. And he has cashed in on every game where he had double-digit targets. Like I said, at least 16.3 PPR points, 2 of which over 25, at least 91 yards in every one of those games, at least 7 targets in every one of those games, and 4 total touchdowns in those 3 games combined. Coming out of the bye back-to-back, he has been the target leader by far. And the schedule, obviously, they share the same schedule. I would rather go with the guy who we see getting the volume, and we also see that he's healthy right now.